Hello and welcome to another episode of Issue Update. I'm Dimitri Giller, and joining me today is Anoosh Manzoori, CEO of Sparc AI, ticker symbol SPAI on the CSE. Anoosh, welcome.
Hi, Dimitri. Thanks for having me.
All right, let's get started with the big picture overview. Tell us about Sparc AI, what the company is building, and why the company chose autonomous navigation.
Yeah, it's a great question. So Sparc AI is building an amazing suite of technologies for the drone sector. We've been very focused on extending the capability of drones, particularly for defense and commercial sectors, although we are now starting to move into the commercial markets. Some of our products include a target acquisition system and an autonomous flight system that works without GPS on drones. So GPS dependency is one of the biggest vulnerabilities in today's drone market. So in defense, that could mean the difference between mission success or failure in contested environments. And in commercial sectors, it opens opportunities in agriculture, infrastructure inspection, logistics, and even in search and rescue. So I think it's a very important problem that we're trying to solve.
Okay, let's dive deep into this target acquisition system and autonomous flight solution that operates without GPS, LiDAR, or even radar. For those less technical, how does this tech actually work?
Yeah, so if we think about in defense, particularly in a military setting on the edge of the battlefield, a soldier will have a target acquisition system. These systems typically weigh about 25 kilograms. They're carried on a soldier's back, and they're effectively assembled on a tripod. You need a relatively flat area, and they're connected to a tablet via a cable that's about 25 meters long. So the soldier needs to effectively go and hide somewhere when they're operating these devices because they're emitting a signature. So GPS, radar, LiDAR, laser systems all have a signature. So as you're looking at the enemy can then start to look at you, and it puts you at quite a lot of risk. So putting this payload onto a drone is quite challenging because of its weight and complexity. So we've developed a technology. It's completely software-based. It can be installed on any device. So we currently have it installed on a drone that weighs only 500 grams. And we can do target acquisition by recording the location of any object. It could be 4 or 5 miles away. We identify the location of it and also the distance between the drone and that target. It's completely covert. It doesn't emit any signature. We're not using any sensor. In fact, it works on land or water. It also works on a blind device. So we can effectively blindfold the camera and we can still take a recording of any distant object.
And you recently announced a bold new move into the commercial drone market. Can you give us a sneak peek and what it is and how it fits into Sparc's evolution?
Yeah, so if you think about what makes a drone, there are motors, propellers, frames, electronic speed controllers, batteries, cameras, sensors. For each of these individual components, there are thousands of options and variations. So collectively, there are tens of thousands of components to choose from when it comes to building a drone. So you want to make sure that these components work together, they're compatible, the voltage works. You need to do a lot of performance testing. There's a lot of trial and error, a lot of engineering, a lot of time. And if you get it wrong, it can be quite expensive. So we've developed a drone builder platform that does all that hard work for you. It has a database of thousands of components, including all their specifications, and the user can simply virtually build their drone, think of it like a digital twin, and ensure that all the components work together, they're compatible, and they can complete all the complex engineering in a very simple web-based user interface. They can, for example, swap out components to optimize their drone performance for speed, height, or flight time. We also have a lot of really complex engineering tools that we've simplified, such as wind tunnel analysis, motor heat analysis. There's dozens of really cool tools that we've integrated into this platform. Mm-hmm. So I think this platform will expand our reach into the consumer and commercial markets, but also helps us tail back into defense as well. So imagine if the Defense Department wants to deploy a bespoke drone for a particular mission, the R&D time would take years. With our platform, they can upload all their componentry that's defense grade and then use the platform to configure and optimize the drone performance for their particular mission. I think there's also an opportunity to tail in our target acquisition and autonomous flight systems into this platform as well, and provide a bit of a sales platform for us to get further traction for those sort of products as well.
Right. So this platform isn't just for defense or industrial clients. You're talking about agriculture, infrastructure, logistics, and even drone racing. So why is now the right time to enter this broader market?
Look, the drone industry itself it's a $20 billion market. It's growing. There are a lot of new drone startups that are also entering into the market every year. In the consumer space, there's something like 50,000 people that are searching for DIY drone-related products per month. So this product solves a very broad market. It's a big market, and I think there's a great opportunity for us to enter with this sort of platform.
Okay, so let's talk about platform results. Can you walk us through what those early tests look like?
Yeah, so this product, particularly our target acquisition system, was developed over a 15-year period. So the company started off as a research and development business and is now moving into commercialization. It initially deployed the product on a fixed camera for bushfire and lightning detection, and we've now extended it into the drone sector and onto aircraft. So when we first decided to move into a mobile sort of environment, we installed it onto a mobile phone. We thought of the mobile phone as a drone without propellers, if you like, and we simulated an environment that was somewhat similar to a drone. So, for example, we would test it on top of buildings. We would test it in a car driving 100 km an hour. We tested it by walking on a bridge to see whether it works on water. So really the mobile phone was the platform that we used initially to test the capability before we actually moved it onto a $25,000 military-grade drone. So the product worked extremely well. There's obviously some challenges there with flight, with the drone moving, with air and sort of some challenges in that respect. But we managed to get through the engineering challenges over an 18-month period, and the product works extremely well on a drone.
And how did the system perform in GPS denial environments? What kind of feedback did you get from the demonstrations?
Yeah, so the technology from the beginning never required GPS. We need GPS as a starting point to know where we are on the planet. But the system effectively looks at the terrain of the Earth. It understands its height and the pitch of the camera, and then it uses a lot of complex mathematics to work out effectively where it's pointing at and where it's looking at. It doesn't use any sort of sensor to do that. It's just purely the mechanical orientation of the camera on the drone. It's sort of spatially aware in terms of where it is on the terrain. It can then determine the location of its target. So it's not using GPS other than its starting point of where it starts, but from there it doesn't need to use any GPS.
Okay, and during the test, were there any surprises or breakthrough moments?
There were two for us. One that we weren't really sure of at all when we first built the platform, and that was whether the system will actually work on water. And so, we found that the system not only worked on water, but also were able to do target acquisition over a very large terrain. So think of you're on land and you're looking at another land mass that could be, say, 4 or 5 kilometers away from you, and you're separated by a very large mass of water. So the system worked incredibly well. There's no different whether we're on land or on water. It operates exactly the same. The other area which was a bit of a surprise for us was that when we blindfold the camera and we point to a target, we still can make a recording. So the camera is actually not used for target acquisition. It's really used for the operator to look at the target. The algorithm still operates just the same as long as the orientation of the camera is operating effectively.
Okay, so switching gears a little bit, Sparc AI was just shortlisted for the 2025 AAUS Innovation Award in Australia. What does this recognition mean for the company, and how does it validate your technology on a global scale?
Look, it was great to be recognised. We were shortlisted with a handful of companies, mostly in the technology space, operating in the drone or UAV sector. So we were shortlisted for that award. We're also accepted into a program run by Parrot. So Parrot is one of the largest drone companies operating in the defence sector. They have a particular drone called the Anafi military or government drone. It's a $25,000 drone manufactured in the United States as part of the blue list. And this drone is sold globally across the world to defense departments. So this was the platform that we first integrated the Sparc AI target acquisition and autonomous flight system. It's a $25,000 drone, only weighs 500 grams, so that you can't put any payload on there other than the camera that comes with the drone. And we've integrated our platform directly into this drone. So we were actually invited and also accepted into their technology solution partner program, which gives us an opportunity to effectively introduce SPAIF AI into their distribution channels around the world that are selling the drone to the military customers.
Okay, so let's zoom out. What's next for Sparc AI in the next 12 to 36 months?
Yeah, so we're hoping to launch the new drone builder platform over the next few weeks, so look out for that. We also have some other product opportunities that we're currently working on, particularly around mapping that will work with our autonomous flight systems. We've been working quite closely with several groups to effectively get our product into defense departments, both here locally in Australia and also in North America. This is through, particularly through partners that we can't quite announce at this stage, but we're also working with prime contractors that are actively selling into defense. So we've got quite a few things on the pipeline. Hopefully we can start to announce those over the coming months.
Okay, great. And just wrapping it up, Anoosh, what should investors and potential partners be watching for?
Yeah, so look out for our product launch for the drone builder platform. We're currently very close to announce that. Look out for all our product features and product expansion announcements. These are quite important because it demonstrates we're expanding the capability, expanding our intellectual property, and also expanding our market reach. So I think there's some great announcements coming, particularly over the next few weeks around the product and also some commercial opportunities as well.
That's fantastic, Anoosh. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dimitri. Thanks for having me.
So joining me today was Anoosh Manzoori, CEO of Sparc AI, ticker symbol SPAI on the CSE. Thank you and take care.